But today we are talking about how to acquire elite quarterbacks to build your team around in 2023. Everybody wants those good gunslingers. We're talking about a baseline of how to obtain an elite quarterback worth building around. They got to be worth it. Superflex or one quarterback, and we're going to evaluate trades for the top 8 quarterbacks. We're trying to establish fair value for acquiring these players. Let's get to it. Patrick Mahomes. In a one quarterback league, would you rather have Patrick Mahomes or the 2023 102? Chev, why don't we start with you on this one?
Oh, man. After this season, I am actually valuing the QB a lot more than I did. We saw, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts absolutely tear it up this year. And there's a huge difference between those 3 guys compared to the 7, 8, and 9, 10 guys. Like the value that you can get with these quarterbacks, even in redraft right now, like I'm going to be taking quarterbacks a little bit earlier because how many points they put on the board each week is astronomical compared to those other guys. So, it's the 102. If you have a solid backup, I don't hate it, but I would want a little bit more, honestly, because Patrick Mahomes literally can win you a week every single week he's on the field. Doesn't matter if he has Tyreek Hill anymore. He's shown that he can compete in every single game that he's been in. He's putting up 40 points a game. Like, that's incredible. You can't find that with running backs these days. It seems like you have 1 or 2 that are good, and Jahmyr Gibbs, probably the 102. I don't think those guys are going to be getting me more fantasy points than Patrick Mahomes for the next 5 to 6 years, and their shelf life could be shorter. So I'm sticking with Patrick Mahomes. I know it might be off brand because it's the 102 in a draft. It's only one QB, but that QB to me actually matters a whole lot with him being there.
So I have no problem with the trade. I think it's fair on both sides. I'm going to be with Chev on this one. I'm going to stick with Patrick Mahomes. Look, it could be Jahmyr Gibbs, it could be Bijan Robinson, depending on how people are valuing it, which way they go. Both are going to be fine players. They're also going to be rookies. And the fact of the matter is, if you're a savvy trader, you could probably take Patrick Mahomes and flip it for more than that. You never know.
Yep.
Pork, are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, I'm in a total agreement with the Patrick Mahomes, and we I think decided to devalue Patrick Mahomes because of they lost Tyreek Hill, and it shows that he's still that dude. He still had Travis Kelce, and just spread the ball around more to different people and made other players relevant, and kind of mixed that 2 together. It wasn't just about that one player. It was Patrick Mahomes. So if you try to pick between that 102, like Chef says, either Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs or Jackson Smith and Jigba, I'm looking at those 3 guys and it's like, hey, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over those 3 all the days of the week. And let us not in this case overvalue this 102 in this case, because again, he's a rookie. You still haven't seen him play at the next level. We've seen what Patrick has done, and he's going to be doing this for years to come.
Let's look at it from a Superflex standpoint now. In Superflex, would you rather have Patrick Mahomes or Trey Lance, Devonta Smith, and the 2023 107? So I think what you need to ask yourself here, and I'll start off, would you rather have Patrick Mahomes or an IR designation, a wide receiver 2, and the 107 in this class? And you know what? I'm going to stick with Patrick Mahomes. That might not be the popular pick, but the fact is Trey Lance has been useless for you in fantasy so far. You probably overpaid for him. I was not a Trey Lance fan for other reasons, not injury reasons or whatever. I think Devonta Smith is great. I love Devonta Smith as an Eagles fan. He's fantastic. He's a solid wide receiver too. And the 107, drafts can fall apart real quick. We've all seen it. We've all seen it. So I'm going to stick with the known commodity here. Give me Patrick Mahomes all day. Pork, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes as well. Not to, regurgitate what I said before, but, that 107, we really don't know what it is. It could be a Zach Charbonnet or something like that. So, and you also don't know his landing spot in that point. Devonta Smith, he's very back and forth from week to week. It could be a boom bust week. You never know. They're going to run the ball 40 times or throw the ball 40, 50 times. So we believe in the talent, but we're not going to know what we're going to get from week to week. And Trey Lance, I feel like we've been saying this from last year to year before. We haven't really seen the Trey Lance that they were putting out there that they portrayed for us to see. I think the Kyle Shanahan part of the situation made it seem like that he was going to unlock that offense 100%. And we haven't seen it at all yet. We've seen Brock Purdy look and play a lot better than Trey Lance has
because he's
for
actually
fantasy
played.
purpose in real life. Yeah, because he is. But when Trey Lance was in the game, he dealt with some accuracy issues, and obviously he's dealing with the injury issues as well. With that, just give me the known commodity and Patrick Mahomes with the value. And if you do get a package like that, you're going to have to sweeten that up a bit for me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, but Trey Lance, first game of the season, he plays in Chicago. It's the most miserable game you can go to as a fan. Just absolutely pouring, disgusting. We've only seen him for 2 games, and it seems like in the last 3 years. I'm not putting my money on Trey Lance, even though I think he does have incredible potential. I have the assurance that I'm going to have QB1 or QB2. And, you know, Trey Lance is great at running the football. I'll tell you what, Patrick Mahomes, he's not too shabby himself, even though he doesn't do it often. But when he does, he gains yards. He gets touchdowns sometimes in situations. He's not going to get himself hit really hard. And, I mean, you got Devonta Smith, the 107 is just – it's a good pick, but I'm not risking it when I have the number 1 or 2 QB every single season. I can't do it.
So let's move on to the next one. You talk about running quarterbacks. Talk about Josh Allen. So in a 1 quarterback league, would you rather have Josh Allen or Mac Jones and Kenneth Walker? Josh Allen.
He's going to outscore those guys every game.
Exactly. We're going to say this. It's Josh Allen, unless can either of you guys make a case for the other side? Because I can't. I like Mac Jones. To me, he's a quarterback 2 in Superflex. He's a backup quarterback in a 1 quarterback league. And Kenneth Walker is fine. But the fact of the matter is, we never know what the Seattle Seahawks are going to do at the running back position. So Josh Allen in Superflex, would you rather have Josh Allen or Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins, okay, as long as he's playing at 1 o'clock, you know what you're getting out of Kirky.
Sure.
Najee Harris and 23 seconds. Projected mid-round. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still probably leaning Josh Allen. If one of those picks was a first, I would lean more on that side because of the consistency of Kirk Cousins. Najee Harris turn on lately. Najee Harris delivering me a championship. Thank you. But 2 second-round picks. You guys know second-round picks could be big question marks, or they could be really good. And I think they're going to be good in this class. Chev, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think you still have to lean Josh Allen. I think this one's way closer. Like you said, if there's a first involved, I think I would definitely think really hard on that one, because getting Kirk Cousins, who we've seen him have big games. It's not like he doesn't have weapons around him. He has plenty of guys that he can throw the football to. TJ Hawkinson's become one of his favorite targets out there. I mean, it's incredible what he can do when he's having a good game. But golly, I tell you, if you have him on a bad game, you are going to hate your life for a long time. I think I do want Josh Allen in this. It is decently close, but I think I would need a little bit more, man. Like I said, Josh Allen, probably top QB if he's rushing the football consistently, if he's not battling injuries with his elbow, just fantasy football wise. So I can't get off of that, man. I think you have those quarterbacks like him and Mahomes. It's such an advantage to you in the Superflex league because, I mean, they're going to play if they can. They're not going to sit out games, right? So these guys are top of their talent, and they have Kelsey, they have Stephon Diggs. And I mean, I know Cousins has Jefferson, but can I count on Cousins? And I can't say 100% I can.
Pork, are we in agreement with Josh Allen here? We could probably move on from this, right?
Yeah. I'm in total agreement. I think it's just, if Kirk Cousins was a little bit more consistent, I would completely think about it. But he'll give you a 38-point game 1 week and then give you 5 points the next week. I don't want to give up a Josh Allen for inconsistent talent from week to week with Kirk Cousins in that case.
Let's talk about inconsistent talent. Jalen Hurts, he's not the inconsistent talent, but the one trade here, that's where I'm leaning. So in a 1 quarterback league, would you rather have Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray, a late 23 first and a late 23 second? I want Jalen Hurts. I don't really want Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? And if I have to give up Jalen Hurts to get him, a guy who was a potential MVP this year, and I mean, he's scoring multiple touchdowns, 2 wide receivers over 1,000 yards. And, you know, again, we're talking about guys. Quarterbacks matter in 1 quarterback leagues too. Don't devalue them just because it's 1 QB league. Jalen Hurts is a cheat code. You probably drafted him really late when you drafted him. if you drafted him at all in one quarterback league. Possibility he was on waivers. You picked him up before his first start against the Saints. So can anyone make a case for the Kyler Murray side?
I can't,
I
because
can't.
he's going to be injured for a whole year, and I think that offense is going to be in full rebuild. I can see
You might have to
a year where DeAndre Hopkins is gone. I can see them moving on from him. You can't throw out David Blow and you can't throw out Colt McCoy and think the season's going to go well.
All right, so then let's move on to the Superflex portion. In Superflex, would you rather have Jalen Hurts or Joe Mixon, a late 23 first, a late 23 second, and a 24 first? So I'm going to say this right now. If you're rebuilding, the Joe Mixon side isn't awful. Here's why. I'll tell you what. The 24 quarterback class is going to be better than the 23 quarterback class. Unpopular opinion. Now, if I made this move, I would probably want a quarterback back, Superflex League, but I'm looking to move Mixon right away. So in a rebuild, that makes more sense. That being said, I'm still going to take the Jalen Hurts side.
Yeah, I'm looking to move Mixon as well. I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you. It's the Asian running back. Yeah, he's still productive. Not as this year as he was last year, but I'm looking to move older running backs in this case. And again, these the late 21st, like you said, these draft picks, they can change from week to week. Jalen Hurts, like you said, has been a cheat code. He's improved mightily, passing the ball down the field, making smart decisions, not throwing that many picks. So I think that improves as the years go on. So I'm taking Jalen Hurts in this package.
Not much to say. I'm going Jalen Hurts as well. Mixon's getting older, 27 years old. The offense likes to throw it in Cincy as well.
Let's move on. Joe Burrow, guy that I built so many teams around in a one quarterback league. Would you rather have Joe Burrow or Jared Goff, Josh Palmer, and a late 23 first? By the way, redemption tour for Jared Goff.
Yes,
a guy that I've been pounding the drum for all off season. Draft Jared Goff. So, I won a championship. My two starting quarterbacks were Jared Goff and Geno Smith. I still want Joe Burrow. They throw the ball a lot in Cincy. And, it's one of those things. Like, if you're Zach Taylor, you can't not throw the ball with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase there and Hayden Hurst been banged up. That's like having a Ferrari in the garage and taking your Chevy pickup out. So give me Joe Burrow. I think a case could be made for the other side. Does anyone have a case to make for the Goff side?
I do have a case for the Goff side because Goff, like you said, had a resurgent year, and now he has weapons. He has Amon-Ra who gets open. I swear, like after every route. Jameson Williams is going to be healthy. DeAndre Swift, they're using him the right way finally as a third down back, like we say he should be. And Jamal Williams is a red zone threat. The offense is getting better this year, and I don't see it digressing next year. So I can use a case for it as if you're a rebuilding team and you want to get the Jared Goff and a Josh Palmer. I think Josh Palmer is more of a throw-in right there because he's just the third receiver on that team. But that's a good depth piece that you're looking for. And the draft pick on top of that, I'm a big fan of Jared Goff, and I don't think they draft a quarterback this year or for the future. And they might probably wind up giving him an extension if he decides to continue to play that way.
Anything? Do you have a case to make for the Goff side, or are you still on the Burrow side here?
No, I mean, I still like the Burrow side. I mean, obviously, if you're rebuilding, I think you could make a case for it, but I think you still have to go with that stud quarterback at the moment.
If you're rebuilding, like Goff is a nice bridge quarterback to get a guy, and you get a late pick out of it. So that does make sense. But let's go to Superflex. Sorry, go ahead.
And it's just nice because they're doing stuff to help Jared Goff. Like they're getting him receivers, they're getting him linemen. So like we said it in the offseason, like that offense is going to be pretty decent this year. Like you said, Mike, you were talking about Goff all offseason, so it's a good pick.
Man, sometimes you got to go with the value so you can load up at other positions, build around wide receivers. All right, so Chev, in Superflex, would you rather have Joe Burrow or, going back to Kyler Murray again, Josh Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell, and a 24 first? This one, for me, it's kind of a no-brainer, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, man. My problem is Kyler Murray. I don't know what this guy is going to be once he gets back in the NFL. We've seen guys that come back super healthy, super strong after it, and I just don't know if that's the case for him. I don't know what he turns out to be. I'm honestly looking at the Joe Burrow side and feeling pretty confident about it, if I had to be honest, because I don't know the certainty of getting Kyler back and him being the same player. And I like Josh Jacobs. Don't know where he's going. Could come back. Could be a better situation for him out there in free agency. I still like Joe Burrow. I think I trust his offense with a lot more than I do with these other players that are on here.
Josh Jacobs is a free agent. Elijah Mitchell hurt. And a 24 first, you got to wait a year. So even if you're a rebuilding team, the Kyler Murray side does not make sense to me at all.
No, it doesn't.
The only thing that you're getting out of that is the pick, and you're getting a lot of question marks.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's definitely question marks with the Elijah Mitchell part because obviously they got CMC there. Jordan Mason doesn't look half bad. So if Elijah Mitchell comes back, he really doesn't have a spot there. So I feel like that's just a throw-in type depth piece in case of an injury to a CMC, which is we good, but I want to win now. So give me the Burrow side on that.
All right, so let's move on to our next one. Justin Herbert, who I talked about before. I really feel like these one quarterback ones just lean the quarterback so heavy. But in one quarterback league, would you rather have Justin Herbert or Jameson Williams and a 24 first? I mean, if you're not competing right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Jameson Williams side. Like if your team's bad, give me the upside of that young wide receiver. Like I said, the 24 quarterback class is going to be pretty good. If you're a piece away, I'm okay with the Justin Herbert side. I think this is actually a really fair trade, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you can get Jameson Williams cheaper than what we're going for here because he just hasn't done anything. Nobody remembers the guy. So, yeah, I'm with you. I still think Justin Herbert's going to be an elite QB, but I can definitely see how you can make a case for Jameson Williams in a 24 first. Yeah. Getting a first for a quarterback is pretty good.
I agree.
One QB, but some of these guys, you have to think about it.
What about Superflex? In Superflex, would you rather have Justin Herbert or Brandon Ayuk, a mid-23 first, a late 23 first, and a projected late 24 first? So lots of picks.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, then they're not bad picks either.
No, they're not. But I think with the way we're valuing these quarterbacks in Superflex, especially with Justin Herbert, I know he had a off season this year, but he didn't have Keenan Allen for 3/4 of the season, and Mike Williams was also out, which affected that whole offense in total. I think I'm still leaning towards the Justin Herbert side in this case, just because of the unknown in this late first. Like if they were kind of someone like maybe like one early first, I would consider it. But in this case, I'm gonna just stick with my quarterback here.
Let's move on to Trevor Lawrence. In one quarterback league, would I rather have Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance at a mid-23 first? I mean, it's Trevor Lawrence. We talked about Trey Lance before. If I have Trey Lance anywhere, I want him off my roster as soon as possible. The best ability is availability. He hasn't been available. It's like everybody that drafted Irv Smith too high. I don't want anything to do with Trey Lance. I understand what his ceiling can be, but if he never gets on the field to show it, he's a guy that I'm fine to miss out on. Seriously. In Superflex, Chev, would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson in a mid-23 first?
I honestly think I'll go with the Watson and the 23 first. I think they're pretty similar players. You get a first added onto it. Deshaun Watson hasn't played football in 700 days. Like I didn't expect him to come out and go crazy. So I think he gets an off season. Hopefully, as long as this guy can stay out of trouble, I think he could be a top 5 QB like he was in the past. So I like that value for him.
I do like the Trevor Lawrence side as well, though. Him with Doug Peterson, he really upgraded his game because he had to deal with the idiot Urban Meyer the year before. But I don't know. I think in this case, I will go with the Deshaun Watson side because you're getting that buffer on top of it.
In a one quarterback league, would I rather have Lamar Jackson or a mid-23 first? I want Lamar Jackson. That is a no-brainer. I want Lamar Jackson. You're like, well, you get a really good running back. Well, yeah, you can get the one that also plays quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. And I understand Lamar Jackson's been battling some injuries. He's a guy I'm not worried about his contract. If somehow he would hit the free agency market, wow, would that be insane? And I'm here for it, Nate earmuffs. But I want Lamar Jackson all the way, not even close. But Pork in Superflex, would you rather have Lamar Jackson or Rain Prescott and a mid-23 first?
I think I'm going Dak in this case because you're getting the first. You're still getting a QB1 and a first on top of it. I love Lamar Jackson, but we're dealing with. I think some of these injuries are going to start to creep up on him a little bit. I don't want to predict those, but I think that gives you, that baseline quarterback one every week, and then you'll get a first to build into your team.
I don't hate that. Again, see, now we're adding Dak in here. That's the kicker.
Yeah.
Because before it was just in the one quarterback, it's Lamar Jackson in the mid 23 first. That to me, that doesn't jive. But add Dak on top of it, you're still getting likely a quarterback one. Obviously, he's not going to finish as a quarterback one this year. Cooper Rush played a few games. Dak was hurt. But I'm definitely fine with that trade. And I'm okay. I think it's a pretty fair trade either way. So in a one quarterback league, let's talk about Justin Fields. Would I rather have Justin Fields or Desmond Ridder in the 104? The 104 makes it interesting. What I've been doing lately is this. Looking at mock drafts. Go ahead. You're on our YouTube channel right now. Click on some of our mock drafts so you can see. Put a face to the pick. So it's like, would I rather have Justin Fields or Desmond Ridder and Jordan Addison, Desmond Ridder and Zach Charbonnet, Desmond Ridder and Quentin Johnston? And you know what? Here's the thing. I want Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. He's my quarterback one the year he came out. Justin Fields is putting up fantasy points with a bare cupboard. Justin Fields is scoring fantasy points while getting the 2020 Carson Wentz treatment out there in Chicago. I'm all in on Justin Fields. If I could buy him at some sort of value, whoever's getting Justin Fields for Desmond Ridder in the 104, hats off to you, man. I like that trade. So in Superflex, would you rather have Justin Fields or Kenny Pickett and an early projected 2024 first round pick? So when we say early, let's say like the 101 to the 104. It's pretty early.
I'll be honest. If it's the 101, I'm probably doing it. I'm probably taking Kenny Pickett in the early projected 2024 first. If I can get Caleb Williams, I think he could be a good prospect. And I think Kenny Pickett is a good enough prospect where he's going to get them into games. He has plenty of good athletes around him. I think that side is a little bit more exciting for me moving forward. As much as I love Justin Fields, I think he's a great player, but got to move on, I think.
I mean, even if it's not the 101, if it's the 102, 103, and you end up with Drake May, so if you turn Justin Fields into Kenny Pickett and Drake May, just for example, you're still doing okay there. I mean, the reality is that could be your starting quarterback core for 5 or 6 years. Obviously, with some spot starts filled in and bye weeks and stuff like that, but it's a good solid core right there. Sometimes even if it's an elite level talent, but you could use it to divide and conquer, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, that is it for this video. I do hope you all enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Comment down below your thoughts on the video itself. If you want to support this team and go deeper with us and get access to bonus content, written content, rankings, and our Discord community group chat, be sure to check out patreon.com/Dynasty Rewind. It's a great way to support the brand and let us know that you want us to keep cranking out awesome content. And you get access to all of us 24/7. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video today, I'm sure you'll love this one too. Be sure to go check it out. But hey, that is it for me today. I'll see y'all in the next one. But until then, y'all have a good one.